Hi, everyone, and welcome back to school for the 25-26 school year. We are happy to have everyone back with us. Woohoo! And we are excited for a new school year to start. As we get started, like we've done in previous years, we're going to make a video to hit all of the highlights and the points that you need to have and things to share with your staff members to get everybody up and running for the first bit of school. Also, like in the past, we'll have a blog post for you where we'll have resources that we mention in this video, and then we'll also have links to specific chapters in this video for quick reference. So as we get started here, we do want to just share some love and tell you thank you for being BLaST leaders. Lots of you are returning BLaST leaders. You know what you're getting into, and we really appreciate it. And those of you that are new, welcome to BLaST leader. And as we go through this video and different things, please try not to get too overwhelmed and know that Greg and I will be reaching out to new BLaST leaders to give you some one-on-one help as you need it. First up on our list, I'm going to kick it to Greg, and he's going to talk about Microsoft Teams.
Thanks, Danica. So yes, like in years past, we are going to use Microsoft Teams as our primary mode of communication for BLaST. So if you haven't used Teams before, this is kind of what it looks like. You will soon be added to a team called the 25-26 HCSD BLaST team. But before we jump into the new one, we do want to remind you that if for some reason you need to get to a previous Microsoft team, you can click these three dots here and then click on your teams and channels. And there you should find any team that you've been a part of, and you can click into those and go search for anything that you may need. But for this year, this is what this year's team will look like. When you go in, there's nothing there now under posts, but those of you who have been BLaST leaders before, you know that this will soon be a beehive of activity where BLaST leaders help each other, collaborate with each other, reach out for support, sometimes just good funny memes, just good stuff happens in this post. It can be a little bit overwhelming, but remember that anytime you need to, you can search for keywords or for people in the team that you're in. And then just quickly going across the top, we have a link to our blog post that will soon be active. So we wanted that to be easy for you to access. It'll be linked here. And then we also have our list of BLaST resources. These will be helpful to you as a BLaST leader, and we wanted them to be easily accessible for you. So this will be always available on your team. This BLaST resource folder will have specific resources about specific apps. So if you need to know something about BrainPop or about some specific app, it's most likely going to be in this drive. And then the last tab that we have here is just a collection of our BLaST Bites, and BLaST Bites are just what it says, bite-sized updates that we send out throughout the year about various topics, about updates to certain products and that kind of thing. So that's pretty much it about Teams, and we look forward to collaborating with you all here once again in Microsoft Teams. So I'll kick it back to Danica for some Launchpoint updates.
For this section of our video, we're going to talk about Launchpoint, and we're also going to be talking about some other software updates that everyone will need to know about. Before we jump into all of those updates, it's also a good time for you BLaST leaders to work with your staff, work with your admin, and continue that cleanup process of Launchpoint. So if there are any apps that you no longer need at your school, that are unused apps for your school, go ahead and clean those up. If you need help getting those cleaned up, let us know and we'll be happy to do that for you.
Just a reminder that as you're talking about cleaning up Launchpoint, or if your school is thinking about adding some software or anything to your Launchpoint, please remember to start with trusted apps. You'll find that on your Launchpoint, and you'll want to go and search there for whatever your school is considering to make sure it is approved. for use in our district. That'll be your first step. And then from there, if you want to pursue it further, you can fill out a digital resource request form. If you have any questions about that process, don't hesitate to ask Danica or I. And again, that's trusted apps, and it should be available on your Launchpoint.
All right, so let's get into our Launchpoint updates for the beginning of our school year. Let's start with a tool that's called iReady. This is something that we want to make everyone aware of. iReady is going to be the new MTSS software that Student Services is purchasing and using for the new school year. iReady is going to replace iStation. So moving forward, iStation will no longer be available on Launchpoint for students' use. Instead, we're going to be moving towards iReady. Of course, there will be much more information and training about this that will be coming from your MTSS leads at your school and Student Services. But what we can tell you right now is that students and administrators will be getting the tile the same way that they got iStation in the past. So it's going to be self-selected through the SD library in Launchpoint. But like we said, more information will be coming from your MTSS leads and from Student Services on this one. All right, the next tile that we want to talk about is going to be specific to elementary. That is going to be eLearning. As part of the state's DOE requirements for a dyslexia screener, we are using the state provided screener, which is eLearning. This tile will be available for teachers in grades K-3. And there will also be more information about this coming out. Stacy Wagner, our assessment director, has also been working with principals and APs on this. So we just want to make everyone aware of that. Along those similar lines is going to be a tile that's called Character Strong. As a BLaST leader, we want to make you aware of this tile as well. This tile is very specific. It is currently going to be available for elementary counselors. This is part of a Student Services initiative for counseling curriculum that will be available to your elementary counselors at your school to begin with. All right, that was a mouthful. I'm going to take a break.
All right, one more addition to Launchpoint. This one is specifically for students. It is Collage. If you've been to a ClearTouch training recently, you may have heard that the Collage extension on Chromebooks is going to be going away soon. So the new method for students to connect wirelessly with their Chromebook to Collage will be through the tile on Launchpoint. And that will be added soon for all students. Again, that's Collage for connecting wirelessly to ClearTouch panels with a Chromebook in our district. So that's it for the additions to Launchpoint for now. And now we're going to talk about some things that are going to be removed or that have been removed from Launchpoint over the summer. The first one we have there is Safari Montage. You are all made aware of this in the spring. The Safari Montage was not renewed, and it has now been removed from Launchpoint going forward. A couple of surprises over the summer that were also removed from Launchpoint are VoiceThread and ThingLink. Both of those were also not renewed. That was not communicated in the spring. That was a decision, strictly a budget decision that was made in mid-June. And so neither of those have been renewed and have been removed from Launchpoint. I'm going to kick it back to Danica to talk about the other changes.
So as we've tried to make everyone aware in the spring, we've also had changes to our licensing for both Nearpod and Newsela. That the district, the decision was made that we are no longer purchasing Nearpod or Newsela for our elementary schools. We're only going to continue the paid versions of these for our middle and high schools. Elementary would still have the free versions if you choose to use those, but you'll no longer have access to the premium content that we've had before. And we already talked about iStation and that it's being replaced by iReady. So those are our major changes that are happening to Launchpoint for our new school year. We have a few other software updates that we want to talk about that will be affecting our schools, but maybe not necessarily what we see on Launchpoint. So we're going to take just a few minutes here and talk about 3 other software applications that you need to be aware of. A decision has been made at the district level to purchase Brisk Teaching, which is an AI tool. This purchase is being made for all of our K-12 teachers, and there will be more information about this tool, including some student use of the tool in middle and high school that will be coming soon. Lainey Park is the point on this, and she's going to be working on getting some training going with initial rollout. So that's something that's going to be coming very soon to for all of our teachers.
And next up, we have Google Vids, and we just wanted to make you all aware that over the summer, Google did add Google Vids to the level that we use Google for. It used to be that you had to pay for it, and they moved it to make it available for everyone in Google. So as you use Google Drive, as your students use Google Drive, they're going to see an option for Google Vids. And just think of Google Vids as a collaborative video editor. I guess it has some similarities with WeVideo, but very similar to how you would make a Google Doc or Google Slides or a Google Sheet, except you could collaboratively work on a Google Vid. And that is available now in the Google applications for everyone in Hall County.
All right. The last thing that we want to mention is also strictly for information at this point. We have state requirements to teach digital citizenship to our students. That's something that we've done in Hall County for many years now. But the state is providing curriculum and software for that. It's called Pro Tech Tools. Your media specialist will be the point person at your schools, and they will be able to provide more information about this and what that rollout will look out at each individual school. So just be aware that that will be coming too. As far as Launchpoint and major software updates, we've tried to cover it all, but just like anything else, there's always other updates to software that's established in our district. So be on the lookout for some BLaST bites early in the school year. And just to give you a preview, some of those things that we want to include in those BLaST bites will be things like new updates to Canva, a Georgia DOE product called Velocity and an integration with Canvas, and something about Google assignments in Canvas and Google Cloud assignments. So those are 3 things that we know we will be providing information to you on via BLaST bites.
Coming soon.
All right, up next is Canvas management.
All right. Hey, everyone. We are moving into our portion of our resources here where we talk about our learning management system. Our LMS for our district is called Canvas. So we're going to move into part of what we ask BLaST leaders to manage within Canvas. So the first thing that we ask or that we want to cover here is something called Commons. So Commons is something that Canvas uses or calls their Learning Object Repository, or LOR. You'll hear some people refer to it as the LOR. This is where you can go and find all kinds of content that Hall County teachers have made. Also, other teachers all over the world who use Canvas can also publish content to Commons. So to access Commons, you just click Commons here on the left in the main nav bar. And one of the features of Commons is that we provide a group for each school so that you can share content on Commons just within your school if you want to. But we do need some help managing those groups. So all of you should have an admin area here. If you don't see this admin area once you're inside of Commons, then let us know. You can send an email to els@hallco.org, and we'll be sure to get that added. So yours should look a little cleaner than mine. When you click admin, it should just open straight to groups, and then you should just see a group for your school. So once you are here, then you can just click on your school and you should see a list of members of that group. And this is where we need your help. So you can remove people who are no longer at your school just by clicking the trash can out to the right of their name. If you want to also add your BLaST team, or say you wanted to add a grade level chair to help you manage your Commons group, that's what this toggle over here on the left is. So anybody that's toggled on here will be able to manage the group. So if you want to have some help with that, you can add people. The other thing I need to mention is that when you are adding people to the group, so new teachers to your school or something like that, you're just going to type in a name. And when you search for them, if they're already in the group, it should look like what you're seeing here. If they're not in the group, you'll be able to click on them here. And then sometimes if you can't find someone, that most likely means that they have not clicked on Commons to authorize their account. So if there's ever a time where you can't find a fellow teacher or a teammate or something like that, you need to go to them and tell them to click on Commons, authorize their account, and then you'll be able to add them to the group. So please help us with maintaining your school's Commons group. And again, if you don't see this admin tab, let us know and we'll be sure to get that permission enabled for you. All right, next up, we're gonna talk about teacher sites. I've already got teacher sites open in a new tab here, but teacher sites is a public-facing site. The audience for this website is really parents. So a parent can come to teacher sites and they can click on a school and they should be able to see all of the teachers who teach at that school. They can filter by grade level, filter by department, that type of thing. I think my internet is having a little trouble loading here. So let's go back and try that again. There we go. Okay. Again, teacher sites is a way for parents to, to find out a little bit about who teaches at each school, and that's the purpose of the site. So how do BLaST leaders help us with teacher sites? So what you're going to do is you're going to come into Canvas and you're going to click on admin, and then you're going to see a link for your school because you have some administrative permissions in Canvas for your school. So you'll click your school and then you'll come here on the left until you see teacher sites. Click on teacher sites, and again, your interface should be a bit more simplified. Yours should open directly to the profiles area where you can manage. All right, so I'm going to go back to this tab. Again, this is public facing. Okay, so no login required or anything if you just go to teachersites.hallco.org. But the management for this site and how this site is populated is all done through Canvas. Okay, so we're going to ask you as BLaST leaders to manage your teacher site, and you'll see all the teachers, currently associated with your school listed here. And there's a couple of things that you can do here. You can toggle their visibility on and off. So if you turn it off, it just means they won't show on the public site. All right, it doesn't delete it or anything like that. It just makes it so they don't show if they no longer teach at your school. Now, if that person moved to another Hall County school, when they update their teacher site and they publish it, it'll automatically remove them from your school and they'll show up under that BLaST leader's school account, if you will. We do have a little bit of new functionality here that I want to make you aware of. You'll notice a new filter here. We have the ability now to archive teacher site profiles. So you see a filter here for active, all, or archived. And so if you have teachers that you know just do not work for Hall County Schools anymore, you can come to this bulk manage button and you can click bulk archive. And then you can just go through the list and check the boxes by the ones that you know no longer work in Hall County Schools. And then you can just click the archive button. And what that's going to do is going to put their account in an archive state so that they won't show on the list anymore when you're on the active profiles list. It will, if they are archived, there'll be a little indicator here beside them. It's just a way to help you not have so many names to go through on the list when you have people who maybe haven't taught in Hall County for a long time. So that's the new thing with teacher sites. All right, so thank you for listening to this part about teacher sites and commons groups, and if you can help us with the cleanup of those, we would greatly appreciate it. All right, next up, we're going to continue talking about some tools in Canvas, so we'll be back soon for the next segment.
All right, everyone. For this segment of the video, we're going to be focusing on all things Canvas with course creation, management, teacher tools, rostering. So let's go ahead and jump in. As in the previous school years, we always like to draw everyone's attention to our blog posts and the different items that we have available to assist you and your teachers with Canvas and specifically teacher tools. Like in past years, we have a very heavy emphasis on using teacher tools, not only to create courses, but also to use the rostering feature in there to bring students into courses and then have the ability to use grade passback if the teacher chooses. So we wanted to just highlight and pull up our blog post that talks about teacher tools. It is an accordion style here, and we'll just start at the beginning. This tab makes sure that everyone knows how to access teacher tools within Canvas. And just as a quick reminder, if you have teachers that do not see teacher tools on the global navigation, that means that they do not have a teacher role within Canvas currently. To be a teacher in Canvas, you have to have an active course that you're enrolled as a teacher in. So best way to quickly fix that or resolve that challenge when it comes about is to place that teacher into a sandbox course that you have as a teacher. That will immediately give them rights to teacher tools. And once that teacher creates their own course, you'll be able to remove them from your sandbox course if you would like to. Also, if you have questions or concerns about that, you can always get in touch with eLearning for help. One other thing I want to point out when accessing teacher tools, your teachers this year, as in past years, are being asked and even required to take a look at their profile in teacher tools. Until that's done, the Create a New Course tab will not activate. So if we take a look right here, an example of that from my account is right here. When you click on teacher tools for the first time this school year, you're going to notice, and your teachers, all of our teacher users, that the profile needs to be updated and reviewed. You're also going to see a notification in the top right side of the profile, and you'll also notice that I cannot create a course until I open my profile, review it, update it, and save it. Once that's completed, a teacher would then be able to move forward with creating a course. Then we get into about creating courses. We're going to now go over very quickly to another blog post that should be familiar with folks. And this is just our recommendations on course creation. One section is specifically for elementary schools, and the second section is for our middle and high schools. There's also a full screen option here that will put this Canva presentation into full screen for the user. So feel free to go through these. make sure that your folks know about these if they want to go through them individually. And it also will link back to the Teacher Tools blog post that we mentioned earlier. Once teachers create courses, the next thing that typically comes up is content. How do I get my content in? How do I find content to use? As you're all aware, we have many Hall County blueprints that can be added to a course after a course is made. There's information about how that works within this blog post. Also a link that shows what blueprints are available to teachers. We'll be talking about rostering as well. Just a reminder about how rostering takes place, and also as a reminder that rosters will be available within Teacher Tools based on when those rosters are created and available within Infinite Campus. Typically, it takes 24 hours or a nightly sync for rosters within Infinite Campus to populate within Teacher Tools. As a reminder, these are also located in our blog. We have two separate posts. The first one is called Preparing Canvas for Grade Passback. This one has the steps that need to happen in a class, a Canvas course as a prerequisite before grade passback can ever happen. The good news about these is these are all initial setup in a course, and once they are set up, you usually can just move forward with implementing grade passback, which is on this blog post, where we go through actually how you set up Canvas for that and how you run a grade passback sync. As always, when you guys have questions about it, please let us know, and we'll be happy to dig in and see how we can help you all with that as well. This section of the video, we're going to take a few minutes to talk about communication tools, specifically communication tools within Canvas and Remind. We have available to everyone two separate presentations that you'll be able to find at the bottom of this blog post where this video is. The first one is called Canvas Communication Tools for Teachers. We did a refresh on this and updated some of the images on this from previous years, but the information that's contained in this presentation is the same. One thing that I would like to call out is that there are presenter notes on slides to help you as you present this information to your staff. This first one that I'm highlighting right now is the one specifically about Canvas and the three modes of communication: announcements, calendar, and inbox. And as you go through these slides, there's going to be information to help people not only know about the communication tools that are available within Canvas, but also when to use the different communication tools that are available. These screenshots have been updated, and we've also done some updating to the speaker notes at the bottom here, so it should be ready to go for you all. The other presentation that's available to you that goes with communication tools is this one, Preparing Remind for a New School Year. With this presentation, we've also went in and made sure that the screenshots are up to date. With this, we have recommendations for elementary teachers and middle and high teachers. And then we have provided screenshots on how to claim your new school year courses and also archive any previous year classes in Remind. And then one thing that I like to call out is that a teacher can go in and give a personalized name to each class if they choose. And we would also like to remind people that they can send a message to multiple classes at a time, so that one message could go to multiple classes, like English second period, 3 rosters. That could happen as well. Parent access is the same as it's been in the past. Of course, we always encourage parents to make sure everything in Infinite Campus is updated, because that is where our data from Remind comes in as well. And then this was new last year, but I like to highlight this again. Remind now has what they call preferred language, which means that a user's preferred language is tied to their account. It's based on what is in Infinite Campus. A teacher also has a way to go in and change this if needed. But what it allows is two-way translation on the go. A teacher, a school, they no longer need to send an English out to everyone and send a message out to everyone in English and then send that same message out to everyone in Spanish. Remind has the capability now to make sure that the receiver, the person on the end that's receiving the message, they get it in their preferred language. So that's a big change to Remind that happened last year, but it's new enough that I wanted to make sure that I called that out again. As always, if you or your teachers have questions about either Canvas and communication tools or the Remind communication tools, please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know.
Hey everyone, in this segment, we're going to be discussing the Canvas Parent Observer role, and you can see that I'm starting out in the Canvas guides and Canvas community. Anytime we can point users, whether it's teachers, students, parents, to the guides, this is going to be the most helpful part, or helpful information for getting the latest information on all things related to Canvas. Specifically here, we're talking about the observer or parent role. These links are great. There are also videos that are helpful. And again, these resources and the guides are always going to be the most up to date. We also want to point out that in our BLaST team that you'll be a member of, these resources, there are resources that are also available in the BLaST resource folder. Since our information for Canvas observers has to be just a bit customized, you're going to find that in the Canvas folder, and you'll see customized directions for parents on how to create a parent account in Canvas in both English and in Spanish. So if we open these up, you'll see option 1 kind of takes them through what to do with the Canvas Parent app. This is the easiest way to create a parent account in Canvas, but if the phone is not an option, then option 2 does show them how to do it on a desktop or a browser experience. Again, these are customized directions for parents in Hall County schools. These have been tested with the latest functionality in Canvas. And again, those are accessible in our new Microsoft team for this year. Okay, I'm going to go back to the browser side to mention that for those who are also the parents who are also teachers in our district, if they go to this URL that we see here at the top, they will be able to manage who they are observing. They can add a new student to their observee list, or if they need to remove, if their children have graduated or something like that, they can remove students here. So that's all things about becoming a parent observer in Canvas in Hall County schools. All right, everyone. Thank you for sticking with us through this content. We know it's a great deal of information, and we appreciate you hanging in there with us as we made it to the last segment here. In this segment, we're going to talk about support and just the general support options that are available to you in the district, maybe some specific support materials, but this will be our last segment. So I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to begin by talking about what support is available to you in Canvas. Lots of these things we're going to talk about, or all of them, are pretty much available to your teachers as well. And there will be some form of them available to students as well. So for the most part. All right, so if you're in Canvas and you need some help, you can click the help button that you see here in the bottom left. And sort of your first line of defense with support in Canvas is you can search the Canvas guides. So if you click that link, it's going to take you to their new looking support page. You can see they've had some rebranding over the summer. You can do a keyword search if you're looking for a specific feature, or if you want to learn about a certain product with Canvas, you can go ahead and click into that product and just look specifically at resources for that product. Most of what is here in the guides, is grouped in different ways. So if you just wanted the resources for teachers, for example, you can click this instructor role, and it'll take you to just resources about being a teacher in Canvas. Also, I want to point out, I'm just clicking in this breadcrumb trail here. If we go back one level, most of the Canvas support content is available in a text format or a video format. So, if you have a preference for which type of support material you like to consume, you can find it in text or video format. But the Canvas community, or the guides as we call it, are very helpful. If you ask us a Canvas question, we're probably going to send you a link to a Canvas guide, because this content stays up to date, and they keep it current. So Canvas guides is your first support option we wanted to point out. You also have the option for a phone support 24 hours. This is the phone number. It is a human that will answer the phone, and they will open a support ticket and follow your issue through to resolution. You also have the option to chat with a support agent, and very similar to the phone, they'll open a support ticket. They'll include a transcript of your chat, and they'll follow your issue through to resolution. And then the last bit of support in Canvas we wanted to mention is called the Training Services Portal. Again, that's available here. We click the help button. It's the bottom link here, and it's going to open in a new tab, and it's going to look like this as it loads. You'll notice you kind of got two sets of tabs, or two sets of filters. The first tab is courses and webinars. And so these are all things that you could enroll in or jump into. The on-demand you can jump into immediately. And then the live webinars, you would have to join a scheduled webinar, and you'll be able to see the sessions that are available for those. And then as we go across, think of pathways here as a grouping of similar content or similar training sessions. They also have a live training calendar. So if you prefer to look at it more from a calendar view, that's what this link is. So if we get down to some dates in the future, if you see something you wanted to register for, you could just click the three dots and enroll in that session, and you would have to be ready, to join it at that time. Okay. The last tab will just keep a history of your items that you participated in the Training Services Portal. So the first time you or your teachers click into this, you may have to click an authorize button to get through. It's just something you have to do initially to get through. But those are your support options that are available to you in Canvas. And at this time, I'm going to kick it back to Danica for some other support that's available to you in our schools.
So we're going to take a little bit of time to talk about two additional resources for you to troubleshoot and get support as you need it throughout the school year. The first thing that we're going to talk about is Incident IQ. Incident IQ is available to all staff members through Launchpoint. If you have trouble locating it, you can always search work order, and it will come right up for you, work orders. And this is going to take you to our Incident IQ portal, where a user can start a new ticket or track tickets that they have open. And these tickets can be about hardware, software, network services. Based on what a user chooses that they need help with, those tickets will be routed to the correct department. So make sure, please, that all of your staff members know about this. It's very empowering to be able to put in your own support ticket when something isn't working correctly. The final thing that we would like to talk about today, as far as where to find help, where to find information, is going to be the eLearning blog. So the eLearning blog you can get to by just going to elearning.hawco.org. We'll also have this linked in our Microsoft team that we talked about earlier in this video. But here at the eLearning blog, you'll be able to look through our featured posts and click on them quickly, like this back to school update that we're actually recording right now. You can also look here under recent posts, and you're going to be able to see our most timely and recent posts that we have. And when I click that, you're actually going to see our work in progress, which is the back to school blog. So our video that we're recording will be here pretty soon, along with the links that we've mentioned throughout this video. And down in this area, you're going to have chapter links in the video to quickly let you reference different areas of this video that you want to review. Our BLaST bites are also featured in our blog area. And like we mentioned earlier, this is where we have posted in the past and will continue to post small bites of information as they come available and information that you need. Just as another quick preview, we've got several that we're getting ready for the beginning of the school year. So be on the lookout for those BLaST bites as well. All right, finally, we just want to remind everyone about our Microsoft team again. You should be getting an invitation to that team soon if you haven't already. And we will be adding all of our BLaST leaders to that team. And like we've talked about earlier, that's where our main communication will be with BLaST leaders this year, will be through Teams. So with that, we're going to take just a moment to start wrapping up things.
All right, we're going to wrap up here, but we just want to thank you for serving as BLaST leader for this year. We know sometimes it is a thankless job. You don't always hear when things are going great, but you will hear when something's not working like it should. So we're going to lean on each other, and that's really what BLaST is all about. So thank you for serving in this capacity for your school. And if you are a new BLaST leader, Danica and I have some extra information that we need to share with you. So we'll be reaching out, trying to schedule a meeting with you, and look forward to getting to know you and working with you. But if you have a need that comes up before we're able to meet with you, please don't hesitate to reach out to either one of us, and we'll be happy to try and help. We hope everyone has a great school year. And again, thank you for serving as BLaST leader for this year.
Yes, thank you.